Whoa, that was good music, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Here we are once again being lied to by our government. It would appear anyway. I'm very disappointed in the fact that we were promised certain things by certain individuals when they were running for the office and appointees of the people who were charged with the fact of letting us find out the information that took place with regard to a lot of incidents, starting with way back with JFK that we never really got the truth on, the RFK incident that happened shortly after that we never got the truth on, and then, of course, you have the nonsense that's going on right now that there are no files on the Epstein case that they ran on and promised that they would release to us. They told us that they had it on their desk. That was Pam Bondi. It's on film. We know, and we can go back to, I have a file, the list on my desk, and now all of a sudden there are no lists. And there's things like the attempted assassinations on Donald Trump. Other things that have taken place that we were supposed to be able to get answers to now that we have someone in the White House and supposedly going to release all this information, and we never heard anything about it. The distrust of the American population right now as a result of this is almost frightening because they want to know. We all want to know certain things, not because we thrive on somebody else's misery, but the fact is things happened. Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in jail. So don't tell us that there's no proof of child or prostitution charges that she was brought up on. If there are no evidence to any of this, then release Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't continue to tell us that she's guilty of something, but you have no proof. Is this more lawfare? In my estimation, I'll tell you what I believe to be true, is this simple fact that we had to cajole people and threaten people to get the big, beautiful deal passed. And now that that's signed, sealed, and delivered, all of a sudden we're going to rearm Ukraine, and there are no files. Oh, there's nothing to see here after it was promised that it would come out? Was that a bargaining chip to get the lousy senators and Congress House people that sat on their hands to change their minds? Because maybe there was some guilt on their part. It's extremely upsetting to some. I've listened to people yesterday tell me how upset they are about it. I personally don't care one way or another because I don't live in other people's misery, but I sure as heck would have liked to see some indictment somewhere, even if they have been pardoned by an auto pen. And I believe that we have some really shady characters on the Republican side that may have cut a deal for themselves to get this bill passed. Did we need this bill to be passed? Absolutely. But what was wrong with the people on the Democratic side of the aisle that never cast anything but a nay vote? Why aren't we looking into some of those people that we know are borderline criminal, especially the foreign section of our Congress, And I got a call this morning from the DNC or the RNC asking for a donation because they have to make changes in their own party because they have to primary a lot of people, and they need the funding to help this along. I told them, when you tell me you have term limits, call me back. Because I wouldn't give another nickel to any party. And I really hope and pray that Elon Musk can get a third party and get people behind it. Because these two parties that we have, better known as the Uniparty, haven't done this country any favors at all. But they enrich themselves, and they throw their weight around and try to crash into detention centers where we're trying to process illegal immigrants that came across the border, invited by Joe Biden. And now they want to make a spectacle of the removal, and in some cases, of thugs and murderers. This is what our Congress is up to. Did they cut deals to squelch the Epstein files? Quite possibly. We'll never know, because no one tells the truth in government or media any longer. And media will run with the story until you are sick of hearing it. And it's usually lies or a twisting of the truth. And that's what we'll get, either provided by the government, leaks in the government, or even worse, out-and-out lies by the government and the media. It's hard to take, considering the fact that we thought we were on our way to the golden age one more time, and now this rears its head, and it's like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain again. I don't know what Bongino and Patel are doing to let us know what really happened with any of this, especially the assassination attempts. The government right now, in my estimation, stinks to high heaven. And we need to all wake up in these midterms and try not to make it worse. We have a vote. Our votes do count. And we need to watch the cheat and watch who is getting into office. Not like this Mamdani guy that's in New York running for mayor, who now it's come out yesterday that he portrayed himself as being an ethnic group that he's not to get into Columbia University, and couldn't even make it there because of low scores. And yet he's got how many people behind him? And Al Sharpton is going to garner him the black vote in New York. I think we're all a little sick and tired of the nonsense and the wokeness and the BS that we have to pay for everybody else's mistakes. And this guy wants us to pay for everything, for everyone but you who work and pay your taxes. It's a shame, isn't it? But this is how things happen. So, that's the monologue for today, the riff, if you want to call it. And let's take a look at Jeffries one more time and consider, we talk about people that are wannabe leaders in Congress and think that they're going to be Speaker of the House, acting in the fashion and lying in the fashion that he does. Let's take a look right here.
Now, some Democrats, amid the criticisms of ICE right now due to these ICE raids, have started calling for defunding ICE. Do you think that's effective going into the midterms, and do you support those calls?
Don't ask me a question. Don't ask me dumb questions, man.
Well, I definitely think that, we need aggressive oversight as it relates to the overly aggressive behavior that we've seen, from ICE, from the Department of Homeland Security. It's not what the American people actually, in my view,
this is bullshit.
Voted for.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and Republicans promised to go after violent felons. But instead, they're going after law-abiding immigrant families. And in fact, in some cases, deporting American citizens and children, some with cancer.
And you told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
Well, we all know now that this guy is nobody's friend, especially the working man's friend, as he tries to portray. The guy is devoid of any common sense, devoid of the ability to tell you the truth. And this is what we have in the monologue that I talked about in politicians that are in it for them and could give a darn less about you or your plight or anything that you may need to survive this world. They don't care. Anyway, meanwhile, you've got Philadelphia, the mirror city of New York City, with some happenings there with unions. And if you remember, if you're old enough to go back to the time when the garbage people went on strike in New York City, it was very unpleasant for the longest time, with the garbage bags piling up in the streets, garbage cans that were just leaking ooze. And now, meanwhile, in Philadelphia, take a look here.
Today marks day 6 of the District Council 33 strike, and after hours of negotiations yesterday, union leaders and city officials walked away without a deal once again.
Without being privy to these negotiations, it's kind of tough to say whether these two sides are making any progress towards a new contract. But what we do know is that the longer the strike goes on, the dirtier and smellier the city gets. Take a look at what I'm talking about. We found this massive pile of garbage along Market Street near 54th and West Philly. This has become a common sight in the past week, one of many mounting trash piles that Philadelphians are both seeing and smelling. It really is hard to avoid. What is preventing all that trash from being picked up? Sanitation workers have been on strike for 6 days now, while their union, District Council 33, pushes for pay increases for their roughly 9,000 members. Mayor Sherelle Parker maintains that the city is offering the best deal in Philadelphia's history. It would be a 13% total raise over the course of 4 years.
You can threaten me with not supporting me if I decide to run for re-election. You can call me a one-term mayor, but I'll tell you what I will not do. I will not put the fiscal stability of the city of Philadelphia in jeopardy for no one. If that means I'm a one-term mayor, then so be it. But the history books will say that Mayor Sherelle Parker did right by the blue-collar men and women of District Council 33.
I don't even know who you are.
Trash continues to pile up and up and up at the corner of Princeton and Hawthorne in Mayfair. Most people who stopped by today abandoned the dumpster or were unwilling to navigate their way around the heaping mounds of garbage to get there.
It's going to keep piling up, piling up. We're going to have rats here tonight like this.
Patrick Glynn lives down the road from the drop site.
This is what you see, and it's going to get worse and worse.
And Frank Copley lives across the street.
It's frustrating what they're doing to the city.
The two men say one of their biggest frustrations as they watch this trash pile up, seeing people dump seemingly anything and everything.
And people are leaving furniture, beds, TVs.
They're just coming here and dumping. Contractors. I've seen people doing lawn, landscaping stuff thrown out here. I've seen the whole 9 yards.
It's horrible. It stinks. You can't sit outside.
Some folks walked their trash up. Others had a U-Haul loaded with trash bags.
I'm helping all my neighbors just bringing the trash up here. They paying me, so it's only why I'm really getting it up here, so it ain't no mices and rats running around the neighborhood. So it ain't no
Mices and rats running around the neighborhood.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'll bet that place really is ripe in this 90-some degree weather with all of that trash out. And now they're worried about rats? Well, hell, there's so many rats in New York that if they could get them to vote, everybody would be voting. Hard to believe that is going on. And the mayor is reminiscent. Remind you of anyone? Maybe somebody in L.A.? Great mayors that we have in some of these blue cities. Not doing any good for anyone, but probably themselves. Because they're certainly not worried about your children playing in garbage, or cities burning, or your home neighborhood burning down, or illegal migrants being rounded up because you won't have a maid or a gardener. Is that really the problem? I think not. I think the problem is that these people came across the border illegally, claiming asylum and not proving asylum in the courts, and now they're being rounded up where they're going to go to detention centers while we can vet these people for who they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Should we buy anything that local government, national government, or the media say to us? I don't think we should buy any of this anymore. And with that, we'll take a small look right here.
I'm scared. Like, that bill passed. Your girl's on Medicaid. Well, that'll bring us, it's hard to believe, isn't it? It'll bring us into Stupid Town now. We have a couple of things. Hollywood. You'll see those idiots that make up, well, I'll leave it to Stupid Town to explain it to you. And today in Stupid Town, there's a lot going on. So let's take a brief exit into Stupid Town for a look-see at what life in the crazies is like. Right here.
I need somebody to tell me that I'd not just walk upstairs and see a clip on the news talking about alligator Alcatraz a prison camp that they're building in the Everglades in Florida to throw immigrants into. Truly, what the is happening when they're in the middle of construction of a prison camp in the Everglades to throw immigrants into, which by the looks of it, of what I saw on the screen, looked just like several rows of cargo shipping containers. They're building a ton of shipping containers that they're going to throw human beings into because they're immigrants. If that wasn't already horrifying enough to throw human beings into f***ing containers, Florida had to Florida and be like, you know what, I'll do you one better. Not only are we going to make this disgusting f***ing prison camp, but we're going to put it right in the Everglades next to all the f***ing gators and joyfully refer to it as alligator f***ing Alcatraz. No, absolutely not. Just make it stop. Make it stop!
Members of House Democratic leadership, thankful for the leaders of every single committee who's been battling hard to push back against the cruelty that is in this one big ugly bill. Thankful for the leadership of Richie Neal. Thankful for the leadership of Frank Pallone. Thankful for the leadership of Brendan Boyle. Thankful for the leadership of Angie Craig. I'm thankful for the leadership, the principal leadership of every single member of the House Democratic Caucus.
He's the lowest energy individual I've ever seen.
Yeah, Democrats are assholes. Democrats are assholes. We've got a major problem.
Drain the swamp. I didn't know the swamp was this dirty and this deep.
Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to the unofficial 2028 Democrat presidential primary right here on stage at the Oversight Committee. Governor Newsom must be seething. The three of you beat him to the stage, but he's a little busy right now defending illegals and defending Antifa, torching what is left of Los Angeles. Governor Walz knows the playbook. In 2020, he rolled out the red carpet for anarchists while Minnesotans watched their neighborhoods burn. You've turned your states into sanctuaries for illegals. You've done more to shield MS-13 than to protect the single mom working 2 jobs in Chicago, Queens, or Minneapolis. And you've worked harder against ICE than with them. So Governor Walz, and boy, does that feel nice to say the word governor, my first question is for you.
And here we go.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
Well, that.
What a stupid son of a...
Hey, she's here, man. That girl from the bar.
That's a guy.
A guy?
Yeah, that's a dude.
No way. You're just saying that because you want her for yourself.
No, dude, I'm saying that because she's a guy.
It's impossible. Just look at her. She's got the cutest little upturned nose, softest lips, sweetest Adam's apple.
Well, it is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday one more time, and as I ask you every day, please pray for these people that are sitting in Congress making decisions that affect all of our lives. And please pray for the leaders in this country and around the world that peace can come and tranquility one more time in the Middle East would be beautiful. But I'm not sure what's going on with this nonsense between Russia and the Ukraine and why it can't come to some peaceful agreement. It's not because we haven't been working with them on it, but now we're rearming the Ukraine, which I think is a massive mistake, and whoever made that decision in our government should be held to task on that. Zelensky has gotten so much of our money so often and no payback in sight for it. Why would we now give them more armaments to continue a war that we're trying to execute a peace agreement in? Is it Putin? Is it Zelensky? Is it our president that's holding this up? Let's come to the prayer where we ask God to intervene and get in their minds and make them make the correct decision. And with that, we're going to say, have a great, blessed, wonderful Tuesday on this earth. Enjoy the day. Stop and pray. Stop and meditate. Stop and look around and see who you can help or who needs your help. And remember, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more information and a look-see into Stupid Town. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.